Your cabin steward quietly keeps your cruise running smoothly. They clean your room twice a day, replace towels, empty trash, and make sure everything stays comfortable while you enjoy your vacation. But there are 14 passenger habits that secretly drive cabin stewards crazy. Some of these behaviors can reduce the level of service you receive, damage your relationship with the crew member responsible for your cabin, or even lead to unexpected charges during your trip. Most cruisers believe they're being considerate. In reality, many are unintentionally making their steward's job harder, and the mistake at number 1 can affect how your steward treats you for the entire cruise. Surprisingly, most passengers do it without even realizing it. In this video, we're counting down 14 cruise cabin mistakes passengers make, revealing the things stewards wish they could say, but usually don't. By the end, you'll know how to become one of their favorite guests, which often leads to better service and a more enjoyable cruise experience. If you enjoy cruise tips like this, make sure to subscribe and tap the like button. It helps other travelers discover helpful information before their next cruise. Many passengers hang the "Do Not Disturb" sign on their door before leaving for a shore excursion. They assume they're being considerate in case they return early and want privacy. But when they come back hours later, the room hasn't been cleaned, the trash is still there, and fresh towels haven't appeared. Some passengers assume their steward forgot about their cabin. In reality, the steward is not allowed to enter your room while that sign is displayed, even if they saw you leave, even if you've been gone all day. That sign essentially prevents them from doing their job, and your room may not get serviced until the next day. The best approach is simple. Remove the sign before leaving in the morning so your steward can clean the room during their regular rounds. If you want privacy for a short time, use the sign only while you are actually inside the cabin. But the next mistake is far more serious because one small action can affect the plumbing system for an entire section of the ship. Cruise ship toilets use powerful vacuum systems designed specifically for human waste, and the toilet paper provided on board. However, many passengers treat them like normal household toilets and flush wipes, cotton swabs, dental floss, or sanitary products. Even a single incorrect item can clog the system and disable plumbing for multiple cabins. Sometimes 20 or more rooms lose access to their bathrooms until the issue is fixed. Your steward then has to deal with the unpleasant situation while maintaining a professional attitude with guests who often deny causing the problem. If it isn't human waste or the toilet paper provided by the ship, it should go in the trash. Following this simple rule prevents plumbing problems that can affect dozens of passengers. But the next mistake is surprisingly common and often happens when passengers try to be extra tidy. After showering, some passengers neatly fold their used towel and place it back on the rack exactly the way it was when they arrived. It feels polite and organized, but it actually creates confusion for your steward. They now have no way of knowing whether that towel is clean or already used. They must guess, and sometimes that guess means you might receive the same towel again the next day. If you want a fresh towel, leave the used one on the bathroom floor or in the bathtub. If you plan to reuse it, hang it loosely so it can dry properly. Clear signals help your steward understand your intentions and avoid awkward hygiene situations. But the next mistake involves something passengers often do, thinking they are being environmentally responsible. Some passengers rinse out a coffee cup and reuse it the next day, believing they are being environmentally conscious. But cruise ships operate under strict health regulations that require all used glassware and dishes to be replaced after each use. When passengers hide used cups in cabinets or reuse them repeatedly, it creates sanitation issues and puts the steward in a difficult position. After using a cup or plate, simply leave it somewhere visible so it can be replaced with a clean one. These procedures exist to protect everyone on board, but the next mistake can create an unexpected mess inside your cabin. After returning from the pool or hot tub, passengers sometimes leave wet towels on the bed, chairs, or balcony railings. It may seem harmless, but wet towels can damage furniture, leave moisture stains, and create unpleasant odors. Your steward must then determine which towels need replacing and which surfaces require additional cleaning. A better approach is to bring wet towels directly to the bathroom. Place them on the floor if you want them replaced, or hang them in the shower area if you plan to reuse them. Containing wet towels in the bathroom makes the cleaning process much easier. But the next mistake happens when accidents occur in the cabin. Accidents happen during every cruise. A glass may break, wine might spill on the bedding, or something could get stained. Some passengers try to hide the damage instead of reporting it. However, stewards almost always discover these things during cleaning. When damage is hidden, it can appear as though the passenger was trying to avoid responsibility. What could have been a simple accident sometimes turns into unnecessary charges or lost trust. Reporting accidents honestly usually leads to a much better outcome, but the next mistake affects your steward's entire daily schedule. Some passengers try to control exactly when their cabin should be cleaned. They might ask the steward to clean during a very specific time window. However, cabin stewards usually manage 20 or more rooms each day and follow a carefully planned routine. Requesting a specific time forces them to rearrange their entire workflow. Allowing your steward to follow their normal schedule helps ensure every cabin is cleaned efficiently. But the next mistake involves a fun cruise tradition many passengers enjoy. Passengers love returning to their cabin and discovering a creative towel animal waiting on the bed. But asking your steward to create specific designs can add unnecessary pressure. These towel animals are a friendly gesture from the steward, not a required service. When passengers appreciate them as a surprise and offer a simple thank you, it creates a much more positive interaction. But the next mistake can create lingering problems in your cabin. A spilled drink may seem like a minor issue. Passengers often wipe it up quickly and move on without mentioning it. But sugary drinks can leave stains, attract insects, and create unpleasant odors if they are not cleaned properly. Letting your steward know about a spill allows them to treat the area before it becomes a bigger problem. But the next mistake involves something many passengers do during their daily routine. Cruise ship towels are bright white, which makes them look clean and fresh. However, makeup, bronzer, and sunscreen can easily stain them. Once these stains set, they are often impossible to remove. Many experienced cruisers bring a dark washcloth specifically for removing makeup and sunscreen. This protects the ship's towels and prevents unnecessary damage. But the next mistake usually happens on the very first day of the cruise. On embarkation day, passengers sometimes enter their cabin before it has been officially prepared. The room may still be in the process of being cleaned. Entering early interrupts the steward while they are preparing cabins for hundreds of arriving passengers. Waiting for the official announcement that cabins are ready allows the crew to finish their work without unnecessary disruption. But the next mistake happens surprisingly often. A passenger steps onto the balcony for a quick photo or walks into the hallway without their keycard. Then the door closes behind them. Now they're locked out and must ask the crew for help. This happens frequently and interrupts your steward's carefully planned work schedule. Keeping your keycard with you whenever you leave the cabin prevents this awkward situation. But the next mistake involves something passengers sometimes ignore during their cruise. If something in the cabin isn't working properly, a flickering light, a slow drain, or a strange noise from the toilet, some passengers wait days before mentioning it. By the time the issue is reported, it may be much harder to fix quickly. Reporting problems as soon as you notice them allows maintenance to resolve the issue while you can still enjoy the repair. But the final mistake has nothing to do with cleaning or maintenance. It's about simple human respect. The most important mistake is treating your cabin steward as if they are invisible. Stewards often greet passengers in the hallway with a smile or a friendly good morning. When guests ignore them or walk past without acknowledging them, it can make them feel unappreciated. But passengers who greet their steward, learn their name, and say thank you often receive noticeably better service. A simple smile and a few kind words can completely change the relationship. Cabin stewards work long hours far from their families to make your vacation comfortable. Showing appreciation and respect can transform your entire cruise experience. Which of these mistakes surprised you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this helpful, you should watch the next video revealing the biggest cruise mistakes first-time passengers make that cost them money, time, and comfort. Make sure you're subscribed for more insider cruise tips, safe travels, and enjoy your next cruise.